been about 3 months since I competitively played Madden 24 online, so I'm kind of rusty. But anyways, we're going to break down some basic issues that you get from competitive experience and just in gameplay general with Madden, and hopefully none of these issues are being done the same results when it comes to college football 25. So you take a look at Joey Bosa, one of the top pass rushers. Now, I'm doing a basic 7-man blitz pressure. My opponent's going to do a play action fake. Basically has 6 blockers. One man should be free, and right here should be Joey Bosa. Yet, he gets stuck between 2 blocks that are engaged, and then he's confused, goes for the running back, then just stops, hesitates, and yeah, my opponent's able to get the ball off. Don't want to see a type of reaction like that when it comes to college football 25. Right here, a basic cover 4 zone coverage. For some reason, I don't know why 2 of my DBs don't know what to do when it comes to the zone coverage in this game. It's like one does the zone assignment and the other one is playing for the other team. Yet, even though my opponent doesn't get pressure, he throws an incomplete pass, which ends up resulting in an interception. This is one of the plays that pretty much sealed the game for me to win this. But anyways, don't want to see that happen. Then, of course, this playstyle has been in the game for years when it comes to competing outside of the frustrating nano blitzes that there is. This is one of them where people just sit in 3-3-5 defense, have all DBs on the field, just run man coverage, pass rush one player, and everybody else is man coverage or zoned up. And yet, that one defensive lineman can get pressure, and yet you don't have nowhere to pass and you can't do nothing else. Even though in this type of defense, it should be easy to run, but you can't really run the ball. This is where we had that February update where the stamina really had an effect on players doing things like this. It prevents people from running the same type of defense with DBs at linebacker positions, and your opponent who has a personnel difference. So if you have a run-heavy offense, you should be able to get pancake blocks against nothing but DBs on the field that's in a pass defense. That's personnel mismatch and also having the stamina fatigue. So when it comes to college football 25, they're supposed to implement that with the wear and fatigue system that they're implementing. We talk about that later on. Right here, simple out route. For some reason, Madden players can't run the out route. This was against a run commit defense. Right when I go to pass the ball, my opponent just stops. And my opponent was running that way to get a user interception, which ends up going for a pick 6 just because my receiver stops on a out route, which you guys are going to see this play broken down later on in today's video. When it comes to competing, hopefully this is avoided in college football 25, but I highly doubt it. Both players will have something that they just base off one formation, one play type of play style. So I'm sitting in the same formation with the 49ers, and I'm just audibling based off what my opponent shows me, trying to make reads off that. I always play like that. Now, this formation in particular is something I never ran before. Now, my opponent just runs 3-3-5, and all he does is just, adjust his defensive line and linebacking core, which is all DBs, and just try to throw you off based off your audibles. And he just runs man blitz or man defense. That's all he done. And obviously I could not run the ball even though I ran towards the box defensive side, but I was hoping for the double team box to branch off and go to second level and get pancake blocks, but for some reason Madden 24 doesn't work like that. Now defense, I was just sitting in basic trash defense. I was getting readjusted to competing. Now my opponent sat in 2 offenses, trips and tights, and he was just audible, doing no huddle based off what the look I gave him. And this is pretty much how every competitive player plays, and it's nothing but corner routes and streaks and crisscross routes. That's how everybody plays. It took me a while to figure out, once again, how to stop, corner routes with deep blue zones and certain coverages. Now, when people play like this, it basically comes down who's going to make majority of the mistakes. It always comes down to one mistake or multiple. Now, of course, I made the first mistake, which you guys saw earlier. Look at the route. It's an out route. It's not even that deep, but for some reason, my receiver ends up going to the back of the end zone and just stops right when I throw the ball, when this should have been an easy touchdown. Now, of course, I could have thrown it to the right or to the tight end, but my read was just looking at how my opponent's defense reacts, which I knew he was going to run commit because when it gets down to the red zone, my opponents always run commit when they see run heavy formations like this. So I always end up throwing the out route regardless. But in this situation, how the game plays, that's Madden for you. And it's been like this for years. So hopefully we don't see things like this with the logic system in college football 25, but I highly doubt it because it's off the Madden engine. Anyways, moving on just with the fatigue system, things like this. You see how glued man coverage defense is. Now, of course, I don't have route runners on the field. It's nothing but big man. Only got two receivers, so of course, you're going to see glued DBs to tight ends. So I was running a lot of double route moves, crossing routes to get those, like, I guess, screen blocks during routes, and it frees up my wideouts and tight ends. That's what I usually do for the most part when play people like this, but I like to run the ball. Now you guys see me motion my tight end right here, do a toss play in the red zone, trying to run the ball. Now, for the most part, I was getting stopped until I ended up picking that toss play. And this is why the wear and tear system is going to be a huge deal when it comes to college football 25 because it's going to prevent people from playing that type of style, especially on defense. Like, if you have a run scheme and a run team, especially, and you're picking personnel groups that should pretty much body DBs, especially at linebacking court, and you have a three gap or three defensive line pass rush, pretty much a gap defense to run the ball, you should have easy time running the ball. And, for people that's going to end up having DBs at linebacking core, they should have the stamina effect and the fatigue system. So make them run slower and end up getting pancake block, especially when you have a repeatable run heavy set formation. And we saw that in the February 28th update, which I told you and showed you guys in my last couple recent videos about that when the college football trailer breakdown, when that was released. And like I said, that was the greatest thing that happened for the game. But when it was released, it was pretty much a beta test build for us. And EA wanted feedback for that so they can implement it in college football 25. But the thing is, a lot of competitive players complained about that and they hated it, so they tried to tune it and tweak it back to normal, and it pretty much just screwed up the whole, system. And that's when I stopped playing because it was like, what the heck? People are able to go back to this and play just like how they used to. So for the time being, when that update happened, I was winning a lot of games because I don't know if you guys saw the videos. If you guys scroll all the way back or go to the playlist, you guys see where I was dominating running the ball, giving crazy work, juking out everybody, just because the game was pretty much polished. And then competitor players complained, and game just got ruined. And that's why I took a break from this game. So it's like, EA tries to go in the right direction, but when you got people that exploit the game and they complain, they try to cater to those players instead of make it simulation football. And it's very frustrating. Realistically, you shouldn't be seeing one defensive lineman pass rushing able to instant shed, and no other offensive lineman will help to pick them up, and you can get easy pressure compared to somebody that's sending 5 to 4 players and they can't block shed, and your opponent has all day to send the pocket and throw a deep ball. Shouldn't be happening. But that's Madden. That's how Madden has always been. I just hope they don't have the same effect when it comes to college football 25. I highly doubt it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Also, I hope they don't have these X Factor abilities. I hope they go back to the Impact Player system. We gotta just wait and see when they come out with more gameplay footage. Till next time, I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.